Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to a new video on my channel. I hope you're doing well and you're enjoying the new game. Today I'm gonna show you all of my F1 22 in-game settings, force feedback, audio, graphics, and also my Fanatec DD1 settings, because all of you are asking for it. And I want to show you guys what I'm doing for this year in F1 Esports. So these will be my F1 Esports settings. So let's jump right into it. Setting number 1. We're going to the assist setting, of course. Everything on the lead. Nothing is allowed in F1 Esports. So that's why you can see we are not using any assists. Heading over to the on-screen display. Actually, the OSD customization, I will leave everything on default probably this year. Maybe a small adjustment with the size of maybe the gears and whatever. But in general, I think I will leave it mainly how the game is giving it to us, because I think the normal HUD looks quite good. Some things look a bit too big, but aside from that, I think the HUD is quite nice. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna change much there. Then speedometer is of course kph. I use the full track map, turn it on always. It's usually on minimap. Don't ever turn the minimap off, you really need it. But a minimap is just showing you a certain area around you. And if you put it to full track map, you will see the whole track the whole time. And that means you can also see when people are pitting, where they're coming out, where their position is. And you can kind of plan ahead a bit more strategy-wise, especially if you're maybe a league racer or even in your career mode. And you just want to plan a bit more ahead with your, well, strategy game. Just how it is. You need as much data as possible. And this is one of the most important settings. Then the delta time, of course, leave it on also this year in the game. You even have a delta during the race now, even in TV cam, not just on the steering wheel, but in TV cam. So this is crucial to always see how your tires and lap times are kind of evolving. If your tires are getting worse, if your lap times are getting quicker, slower, whatever. If the fuel load is kicking in, that it's getting lower and lower and you will get quicker. Stuff like that is really important to also plan ahead your strategies, so always leave that on. Next up, the virtual rear view mirror. I think I will turn it on again. I usually turn it on, but so far for the recordings I always had it off. It's usually quite useful to just see when someone is going for a move. Also make it a bit smaller, move it up, because the placement is usually quite weird from the game itself. Yeah, but I think I will turn on the virtual rear view mirror again for this year. And then also the permanent session timer. I don't know if it's on automatically this time, but usually it was turned off. So turn it on all the time, because that will show you in qualifying how much time there's left in each session. And you need to use that also to plan ahead when to go out, especially when you're on the track. That's literally just about the on track, because in the garage you have the timer. This is really important. Just to be aware how much time is left in the session, because otherwise it will just get shown when there's 5 minutes left, and that's too little time if it's like an 18-minute session or something like that. Okay, always display objective panel, that's up to you, I don't need it. Already heading now into the stuff that probably excites you guys the most, and that is my control scheme for my Fanatec DD1. So I've changed a couple of buttons, especially the look back button. The handbrake is on one of my pedals. Then the overtake button is top right, so I just have to hold it. That's another thing I will show you in a second. Looking left and right is on my left stick. Yeah, and that's the main thing. And the replay you just have to shift somewhere. Also you can map to change the camera. But that is basically it. There's nothing down here. I don't even know what UDP is. To bind a control and ensure optimal calibration, make sure to push your control to its maximum. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe let's try it for once. Unbind. I don't know. I don't know what this is doing. Maybe someone else can tell me. But yeah, no idea. Let's have a look at the calibration. Wait, no, you actually need the calibration. I don't have anything here. Yeah, usually adding a bit of dead zone, but I don't have any dead zone at the moment. And then my force feedback at the moment is 50 total strength, 15 on track, 15 rumble strip, and 10 off track. Wheel damper on 0. Reason for that, it's related to your steering wheel and I don't use any damper there. Understeer enhance, I have it on off. I don't know why, but so far I like it more off. Maybe I will turn it on again. Usually I use it on because it tells you when, like, the steering wheel gets lighter and then you know you're understeering. Maximum wheel rotation for F1 and F2 is native 360, for supercars 900. Let's discard changes, please. The generic settings, the only thing I've changed is the overtake mode, because I prefer to hold it rather than like toggle. If you toggle, you press it once, it's activated, you press it twice, then it's off. I just prefer to have it a bit more, first of all, realistic, and second of all, precise. Just hold it, then it's getting used. If you release it, it's stopping. Just a bit more efficient. That's the way I prefer it. Alright. So, the graphics settings, probably the most interesting bit for not console, PC players. I have the gamma normally on 100, then motion blur this time off, steering animation on. I will show you the graphics settings first. So I have everything on ultra low, just use the ultra low preset and then change the lighting quality to medium instead of low, and the texture streaming to low instead of ultra low. That will make your game look much better, still look quite nice, but the FPS is way better compared to when you have it on, well, high or something. So the textures are nicer, this game looks still pretty good, and you have good FPS. This is the way to go if you just want to have a decent looking game with maximum FPS, because it barely affects you at all. Yeah, this is what I used. And the video mode, 1920x1080, full screen, 16:9 aspect ratio, no VSync, don't turn it on at all, it's not good. 240Hz refresh rate, because my monitor is capable of that, no frame rate limiter. I use anisotropic filtering on 16x, so the maximum, and the anti-aliasing TAA and fidelity FX sharpening, which also makes the game a little bit, I don't know, nicer. If you have it on TAA only, for example, it looks a bit blurry and everything doesn't look as detailed. Like, the sharpening just makes it a little bit sharper, like everything looks a little bit better. So yeah, really liking that. Excuse me. Let's head into the audio settings, and after that I will show you my camera settings. So audio settings, I have the master volume on 4 just so it's not too loud. For recording you can have it on 10, then adjust your speakers, don't mind that. The onboard mix, I have it on driver, so there's 3 different mixes: cinematic, broadcast and driver. On the driver one you won't hear the lights, the starting lights when you're racing, and everything's a bit more, well, I don't know, like it's more focused around your car. The other cars are a bit less loud, like it's just, I don't know, I prefer it at the moment. Maybe I will change it again. It's all down to preference, doesn't matter, but I have it on driver. I prefer it that way. Then the audio simulation quality, always put it to ultra low, because it actually costs a lot of FPS. Big performance impact. Put it to ultra low, sound quality is still the same for me. Honestly, I can't tell the difference. Then commentator, all down to you. Radio language, all down to you. Push to talk, I always turn that to on, because otherwise you always talk in the lobbies and you piss people off when you're online. Like, yeah. Mute by default, I also have that on just so if I want people to talk, I can unmute them. If I don't want them to talk, they will be automatically muted in open lobbies. Radio verbosity is really important. Responses only. So the new chef, he's called Mark, right? The new Mark or Mark is not always talking. Like, it's literally just if you ask him something or really important information, not like, oh, your fuel level is blah 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 during a quali lap. I don't want that, okay? I just want to focus. And then the play victory radio calls, I have it on off because I don't like them. Replay music off, replay music spatialization also on off, and music type theme just because I'm a streamer, and if I would show you the EA music, I would probably get in trouble in all of my videos and streams, so we don't want that. let's quickly head on track, and I will show you my camera settings, and then I will show you my DD1 settings. Also guys, before I show you my camera settings, if you enjoy these videos and you find them helpful, please help me out and get us to the next milestone by hitting the subscribe button. Also activate the bell so you don't miss out any uploads, and also the like button helps this video out a lot for the algorithm. I really would appreciate if you completely smash it out of the window. Of course, only if you like these videos. But if you do, you would do me a big favor. So let's have a quick look at the camera settings. So I use the TV pod at the moment, not the TV pod offset, and I also don't have any settings for that right now. Technically, you can use both. But my current settings, okay, you can see everything, is field of view -10, lateral 0, horizontal 0, vertical on 20, angle on -20, near clip plane on 20, mirror angle on 0, camera shake on 0, camera movement on 0, look to the apex limit? I thought that's a only thing for cockpit cam. I guess it doesn't affect us, but we can also put it to 0, whatever. Yeah, so the biggest thing that I would recommend you, adjust the field of view according to how close you sit to the monitor. I sit more or less probably half a meter to a meter away from my monitor, I would say. Something, let's see. So my arm, literally, if I completely reach out my arm, I touch the monitor. My fingers are still like this, but yeah. So I guess my arm is like 1 meter. Could that be correct? And I have it a -10. If it's closer to you, if you're sitting closer to the monitor, you don't need as much field of view. You can use it, but you don't need to. It will just make it seem more natural. And you have to do that accordingly to how far you are sitting away from the monitor, whatever feels more natural. And the more you decrease the field of view, the slower the game will feel. The more you increase it, the faster the game will feel. Yeah. And the car will look tiny, just for your interest. Yeah. The rest is all down to whatever you prefer. And camera shake and camera movement, also always put it to 0 because it's a distraction. It adds this weird shaking movement when you brake, accelerate, and yeah, you don't need that at all. You will get used to it, and then you will appreciate this tip, because I also used it for ages. I was actually probably one of the last that still use it in esports, and there was no point in using it. It actually is much nicer if you have all of these things turned off. Yeah, but so much about the in-game settings. I will now show you my Fanatic DD1 settings. Let's just quickly switch from the game to the notepad. All right, I'm completely blinded, but that is fine. So the settings are up there. Just quick, the sensitivity is on 360. My force feedback is on 100. Force FFS, whatever it's called, on peak, not linear. Then the natural damper is off, natural friction is off, natural inertia is also off, the int, whatever it is also off. FEI effect is on 60, sometimes switching between 50 and 60. The shock effect is on, the MPS is on auto, and I have a Fanatic CSL Elite load cell with 90% BRF and 85 rubbers. So I only use 85 rubbers, not the sponge in between. 85 rubbers, and that's it. From the bottom, from the top to the bottom, and then 90% BRF. And that's what I'm using. So if you run all of these settings, if you have the same steering wheel, same pedals, in-game settings, you're having exactly the same feeling as I'm getting from the game, and there's no secret to it. I hope this is helping you guys out. If it does, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Blinded Marcel. Peace out. See you, and have a nice, good day. Have a good day. Guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.